Hey Blues fans, glad you made it. Welcome to the next episode of This Week in the Blues. It's our weekly take on blues history. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Madsen, with the blues band Big Train and the Locomotives. We're your favorite blues nerds. So let's take a look and see what happened this week in blues history. In February 19th, in 1949, John Lee Hooker's Boogie Chillen hit number 1 on the R&B chart. Boogie Chillen was first recorded by John Lee Hooker in 1948. It's a solo performance featuring Hooker's vocal, his electric guitar, and a rhythmic foot stomp. The lyrics are partly autobiographical and alternate between spoken and sung. The song was his debut record release, and in 1949 it became the first down-home electric blues song to reach number 1 on the R&B record charts. Delta blues musician Robert Bilbo Walker was born February 19th in 1937. Walker was known for his showmanship and flamboyant Chuck Berry imitations. Walker was born near Clarksdale, Mississippi. His father, Robert Walker Sr., was often referred to by his nickname Bilbo, which passed on to Walker Jr., who was sometimes called Little Junior Bilbo. Walker began to explore music after being introduced to Ike Turner. Chicago boogie-woogie pianist James Yancey was born February 20th in 1894, or 1895, or 1901. It's one of those record-keeping things that happened back then. He's one of the pioneers of this raucous, rapid-fire, 8-to-the-bar boogie-woogie piano style. Yancey became the first boogie-woogie pianist to record an album of solos. By then, Yancey's work around Chicago had already influenced such younger and better-known pianists as Meade Lux Lewis, Pinetop Smith, and Albert Ammons. Blues guitarist Scrapper Blackwell was born February 21st in 1903. He was given the nickname Scrapper by his grandmother because of his fiery nature. He's best known as half of the guitar-piano duo he formed with Leroy Carr. Blackwell and Carr toured throughout the American Midwest and South between 1928 and 1935 as stars of the blues circuit, recording over 100 sides. February 21st is also another good day for Scrapper Blackwell. On February 21st in 1934 in St. Louis, Scrapper Blackwell and Leroy Carr recorded Blues Before Sunrise. Sadly, it was done only a year before Carr died at the age of 30. Blues Before Sunrise is Carr's litany of woes in a song. Lines like, "Such a miserable feeling, a feeling I do despise," had immense influence on Robert Johnson and other blues legends. In 2016, it was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. New Orleans legend Ernie K-Doe was born February 22, 1933. His real name was Ernest K-Doe Jr., and he recorded as a member of the blues group the Blue Diamonds in 1954 before making his first solo recordings the following year. Mother-in-Law was his first big hit, reaching number 1 on both the Billboard Pop Chart and the Billboard R&B chart. K-Doe never had another top 40 hit. Texas blues guitar legend Johnny Winter was born February 23rd in 1944. Winter was best known for his high-energy blues rock albums and live performances in the late 1960s and 70s. Winter produced 3 Grammy Award-winning albums by Muddy Waters, and several of Winter's own albums were nominated for Grammy Awards. On February 24th, 1950, that's the birthday of the Delaware Destroyer, none other than blues and boogie-woogie guitarist George Thorogood. His high-energy boogie blues sound became a staple of the 1980s rock radio, with hits like his original songs Bad to the Bone and I Drink Alone. He also helped popularize older classics like Movin' On Over, Who Do You Love, and One Bourbon, One Scotch, and One Beer. February 24th, 1936 marks the birthday of Chicago blues singer, bassist, and songwriter Willie Kent. Kent was born in the heart of the Mississippi Delta in Inverness, Mississippi. Although he had played the bass guitar in Chicago's clubs since the 1950s, Kent worked full-time in careers other than music until he was over 50 years old. Following heart surgery, he stopped work as a truck driver and formed a band. In 1971, Kent took up residence as the house band at Ma Bee's Lounge in Chicago. Blues and R&B guitarist Freddie Robinson was born February 24th in 1939. He was born in Memphis, raised in the state of Arkansas, and moved to Chicago in 1956. In 1958, he began touring with Little Walter, and after seeing a jazz band perform, was inspired to learn music formally at the Chicago School of Music. He also began working with Howlin' Wolf, recording with him such notable blues classics as Spoonful, Backdoor Man, and Wang Dang Doodle. Well, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here. Now, if you want to know more about these artists or other things that happened this week in the blues, be sure to follow our social media pages or visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a brand new episode next week. We'll see you then.